What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Matty Ice here, back with another video. And today we're going to talk about my 1-year review of my Old Town Topwater 106 PDL. So stay tuned. Let's fish big. So what we're going to talk about today is the pros and the cons of this kayak if you're interested in buying it. I've had it for just a little bit over a year now, and I've got some things that I like about it, some things that I don't like about it. So let's go ahead and start with the walkthrough. All right, here is the kayak. It is 10 feet, 6 inches long, just like the 106 stands for. It does have the pedal drive system, which is fantastic. I love the pedal drive. It's powerful, it's smooth, it gets the job done. Now, one thing about the pedal drive that's kind of a con is that it is a propeller style drive, and you can see that there's some grass on it. It does not perform that great in grass. I do wonder if the comparing it to the Hobie style fin drives, if they work better in grass. Leave comments below if you've used one before. That's really the only downside to the propeller style system. You will have to pull the drive up, clean the grass off. If it's windy out, it can be a pain in the butt unless you do have an anchoring system. I do have an anchoring system. I do have the micro power pole anchor. This is an absolute game changer. Yes, it is expensive. It runs around 800 bucks, but you know, it definitely helps in the wind, which it doesn't take a lot of wind to blow this boat around. One of the negatives about this boat is that you know, I feel like it's pretty heavy. It's about 100 pounds dry with just the drive in it. So you're gonna need some type of a cart system to move the kayak around. I have installed the Boondocks landing gear, which is an absolute must-have if you carry a heavy load. Like any tournament angler is going to, you're going to need some type of cart system for this boat. One thing I will say is I did have a previous cart previously to the Boondocks. It is the Railblaza Sea Tug. Word to the wise, do not buy that cart if you buy this kayak. It does not fit up underneath of the hull the way that it's shaped, and it is an absolute pain in the butt. So do not buy the Railblaza Sea Tug cart. I'm sure that there's other carts out there that will work with this kayak, but I chose to go with the Boondocks landing gear. It's worked pretty great. The kayak is still pretty heavy, so you're gonna have to, you know, go light or unload the kayak before, you know, you do you know, wheel it down somewhere. It does have a really good storage hatch. You can open it with one hand, which is pretty cool. We've got plenty of storage inside. As you can see there's my Yak Attack lithium battery. It has a Dakota lithium battery in it, 12 volt. I run my GoPros, as you can see, this USB cord right here, and I actually run my power pole off of it. The battery that I use for my fish finder is the Yak Attack Noctua. This 10 amp hour battery I use to run my fish finder, which is a Humminbird Helix 7 Gen 3. It does have full side imaging. Awesome fish finder. If you want a fish finder, I highly recommend the Humminbird. It basically works right out of the box. No settings required, just go and fish. It's fantastic. All right, so the paddle that I run is the Bending Branches Whisper. It's a cheap paddle. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a paddle, knowing that I did have a pedal drive. The paddle's okay. It gets the job done. It's fairly light, but I don't really use it that much, you know, because of the pedal drive. But sometimes you do get in sticky situations where you do have to, you know, to use the paddle to bail you out. It does have this this clip on the side, which holds the paddle in place. It works pretty well. It's pretty tight, but I guess it needs to be. Oh yeah, and check out my new sticker here, hotseatcustombaits.com. Go to the website, send Dale an email, he will hook you up. He makes awesome soft plastics. So if you're interested in that, hit up hotseatcustombaits.com. All right, let's talk about the seat. It's made out of this mesh material. It does not really get, I've never really gotten wet out of it. So So I mean, I fished for 8 hours out of it, you know, several times. I don't have any issues with the seat. There is one downside to the seat, and that is this bar that goes across right here kind of limits the storage space that you can have up underneath of the seat. And then there's also this little guy here, which is kind of a downside. You're supposed to be able to put rods here, but like I said, because of the seat bar, it kind of gets in the way. So I really don't use the storage underneath of the seat like I could. If this bar was not here, I probably would have much more room underneath. All right, so we've got some sturdy handles here. This is a great handle. It's very, very sturdy. I actually use this in my truck when I strap my kayak down, so it's very sturdy. There's two handles on, one handle on each side here, and one on the other side over there. Same thing, I use these handles to strap my kayak into the truck. So very, very sturdy handles. Here you'll see this is the rudder control for the steering. It works pretty well. So sometimes it gets a little bit sticky, but it does work. The lever to release is over here on this side. It just goes forward. It's out of the water right now, so if I pull this up, you can see the rudder going up, going down. And also, if you are going to install the Boondocks landing gear, make sure that they do put this spacer in, because if you don't have the spacer, this can't go all the way underneath, okay? And you don't want to cut your handle or anything like that. I've seen videos where guys cut the handle. Just put a top spacer on the Boondocks and you're good to go. All right, so I carry this is a Yeti Hopper 8. Yeah, there it is. Hopper Flip 8. I use this for my cooler. It fits right here on the back hatch, which I don't really put anything in the back hatch. I put everything that I need in the front. This is really just access to the kayak if you need to run some wires and whatnot. But the kayak, look, the hopper fits right in here perfectly. Now I am short, so my seat is all the way forward. So if you're taller than me, I'm 5'7". So if you're taller than me, your seat's going to be moved farther backwards. You may not have room for the cooler there, but there's still some room in the tank, which we'll get to here in a second. Here's my net. This is just a cheap Amazon net. Nothing special about it. I actually don't even really use it that often when bass fishing, but I've used it a few times, but it gets the job done. And I just kind of put it here in between my crate and the Boondocks. So it just sits right there. This is a DIY crate that I made. This is actually a double milk crate. So it's slightly larger than the regular sized milk crate. And as you can see, I can actually, these are 3700s, these are 3600s. I can actually fit, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 3700s in this box. If I put them this way, they will fit. So I could really load this guy up. I try to keep the load light as much as possible, because like I said, the kayak is very heavy, you know, when traveling. But as far as the rod holders, these are once again just Amazon. I don't remember how much they were, 15-20 bucks. It's just for 3 rod holders. I attached them just using zip ties, so no screws or anything like that. You can see the zip ties right here. There's some on the bottom as well. I just zip tied them. So I carry 6 rods with me. I also have an additional rod holder. This is the Yak Attack Omega 2. This thing is awesome. I absolutely love it. I move it around on the tracks. Like I said, you can just pick it up, twist it around whichever direction that you need it. If you need to take it off, just unflip the switch, pull it off. I mean, pretty awesome. I can move it to, I installed some gear tracks here on the back on each side. And then of course you've got the gear tracks up front, which you can see I've got the Humminbird mounted to that one. That's the Yak Attack Humminbird mount for the track. So that's pretty cool too. It has the same lock and load system. Pick it up, move it around. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, let's talk about the cameras really quick. So right now I'm using my front camera, which is basically just a claw mount, but this is the Railblaza camera boom. I do like it. It swivels really easily. You can turn it, move it, turn the camera, like, so it's pretty sweet. So basically what I'll do is I'll leave it kind of in this position. It peeks right over the shoulder. When I'm ready to catch or release a fish, what I'll do is I'll unscrew this guy, and I'll actually just drop it all the way down to about right there. I'll drop it down to about right here, and then I'll either move the camera back here, twist it around. You can see that shot where it releases the fish right here. I do not put, this is not waterproof, by the way, so I'm using a like I said, I'm using my Yak Attack battery pack battery, and I'm running the cable. Sometimes I run it through the kayak, other times I don't. It just all depends on the day. But you cannot submerge this camera. That's what this guy's for. All right, so what I'll do is when I'm doing an underwater release, I'll actually just clip this camera right here to the paddle. It would be underwater, and then you would get the release. So that's pretty cool. I haven't actually successfully done it yet, but coming soon, hopefully. All right, let's talk about some other rod holders about the kayak. This is probably one of my favorite parts about the kayak, is this forward-facing rod holder. When you're sitting in the seat and you need to retie or land a fish, like, it is the perfect angle. So that was very well thought out. There's another rod holder here on the back, which just faces backwards. I don't really use it too much. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how many rods I got with me. There's an identical one on the other side. There are these cool little pockets here. I keep, you know, like I said, my lunch, just odds and ends kinds of things. On the other side, I've got my donkey leash, if you will. So it's a set of fish grippers. I'll grip the fish, throw them overboard. It's leashed to this pocket. Or if I catch a toothy critter, same thing. I bought these on Amazon really cheap. They were just a couple bucks. So pretty cool. Another one of my absolute favorite things about this kayak is on the pedal drive system, you have this little hatch. Now you've got bungees on the top, so if you want to put something here, you can. But the best part is actually inside. This is your waterproof container. I keep my scale in here. I've got my power pole remote. I've got the other power pole remote in there. There's a flashlight in there, but this is waterproof. I will also put my keys and wallet in here as well. Just close it up and it's waterproof. Here's my PFD. This is the NRS Chinook. This is the absolutely most comfortable life vest on the market. As you can see, it's kind of contoured to fit your body. You don't even feel like you're wearing it. You've got pockets on each side. I keep my pliers in here in this pliers pocket. I've got some things attached. I've got other things. You can put baits, lures, whatever in the pockets. But I also use the PFD when I'm bass fishing in tournaments on bass boats. I never take it off. And then of course I got my Boomerang Tool. I love this thing. Never leave home without it. If you have an Old Town or considering an Old Town 106, they do have the Sportsman version. I would recommend getting the Sportsman version of this kayak. There's two things about that particular new kayak that are better than this. Number one is there's handles on the back side underneath, so you can grab the kayak underneath, which is much easier than trying to use this handle right here. And then also, how I have the power pole mounted, there was no inserts to put this power pole. I actually DIY'd this myself. Well, actually I had somebody do it for me. bcpoweryaks.com if you're in the Tampa Bay area, interested in motors and for kayaks. Awesome kayak shop, check them out. But the new Sportsman does not have this handle. They've removed this handle because, like I said, they're now underneath, and there is a spot here for you to mount a power pole. So I would recommend not getting the Topwater series. I would recommend getting the Sportsman series. They've made a few upgrades to it. It's designed just a little bit better for some of those pet peeves that I have with my kayak, so I recommend that. But all in all, this is a fantastic kayak. I do love it. I don't know what I would do without it. It helps me get on the water when I need to scratch the itch to go fishing. I can just load it in the back of the truck, take off and go. It's fantastic for that. All right, guys, thanks again for watching the video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, leave comments if you're considering purchasing an Old Town or if you have an Old Town. Give me your thoughts on it. I love it. You'll love it too. And like I always say, if you're gonna go fish, fish big.